Hello there, my name's Nova and I'm chairing your meeting today. The opportunity to read the social work report.
Well, yeah, but I didn't understand. There's like mock and fock. I don't even know what that means.
That refers to mother of the child and father of the child. I'm sorry those abbreviations are in the report. They shouldn't have been. They should refer to you by name.
I don't really understand who's going to be here today, to be honest.
We'll go through who's going to be in the meeting. I just wanted to hear from you really what your understanding of why we're here today is.
Because you don't think we're good enough parents, so my ex-partner is interfering and causing concerns.
Yeah.
My understanding of why we're here is that there was unfortunately an incident of domestic abuse between the two of you, which was witnessed by the children.
That was an argument. Just, everyone has arguments. That was an argument.
I appreciate that, but my understanding is that, Sarah, you were injured in that incident and the children did witness that incident and the police did become involved. So that, alongside your mental health difficulties, is the reason why we're here today. And what we're here to talk about today is whether the children should be subject to what's called a child protection plan, and that's with regard to whether they are, or whether the professionals consider they're at risk of significant harm.
What's that mean? You're going to take our kids away?
No, that doesn't mean that. We're not here to make that decision today. We're here to talk about whether the people feel that children are at risk of significant harm.
How's it going?
Oh, fantastic. Well, here we are again, though.
If she doesn't engage with then you came straight
back to this. And as soon as I saw what we're going to be discussing, I was thinking, oh, great, it's another day back in the office.
Did you attend any of the incidents?
No, I wasn't personally at the incident.
What I'd like to do now is a confidential section. The parents are aware that this is going to happen. And I just wondered if anybody here has got anything confidential that they can't share with the parents that they want to share with us now.
Yes, Chair. I just want to make everyone aware of the recent events that happened with the family in terms of police involvement. On the 26th of April 2016, police attended 4 Hope Close in Bournemouth after a report of a domestic disturbance at the property. Upon entering the property, the officers attending spoke to a Mr. Mark Cowell and Sarah Parker. Allegations basically were made by them for common assault, an actual bodily harm. Decision was made by officers to arrest both parties to obtain further information because of the 2 children, and after discussions with out of hours, it was deemed appropriate to place the 2 children on an interim basis with Peter Parker, who is the biological father of both children. Mr. Cowell, there was an incident involving a previous partner and a crime of common assault was made out against him. There was also an alleged sexual assault at the property on a female child under 13.
And is Sarah aware of that information? Do we know?
No, Sarah's not aware of the previous information.
Sorry, just in relation to the allegations of sexual assault on a female under 13, we've only very recently had that information. Obviously, we've come to conference quite quickly with this situation, so we are going to have to find some way of managing that. So we are going to have to find a way of exploring that and sharing it.
Quite urgently.
Very urgently, I should think. Yeah.
I'm Jessica, I'm the allocated social worker for Ben and Amy.
Hello, my name is Julian Watkins. I'm the team manager for Safeguarding and Permanence Team 3 for Wessex Children's Social Care. Nice to meet you both. I'm Justice Manager.
Hi, I'm Amanda and we've met. I'm the Children's Advocate.
Hello, I'm Justin. I'm a PC for Wessex Police.
Hi, I'm Andy. I'm Mark's CPN. I work for the Central CMHT at South Wessex Foundation Trust.
Hi, Mark, Sarah. I'm manager at the Children's Centre and Nursery that Amy attends. You haven't met me, so hello.
Hello. I'm Gillian. I'm Sarah's midwife. I'm based at Wessex Hospital.
I'm Sarah. I'm work for Ad Action and substance misuse for Sarah.
Okay. I became involved with the family after the incident of the 26th of April, where there was a domestic violence incident which was reported by the children to their father. There have also been some concerns with regards to the home environment and the engagement with health services around the health needs of Ben and Amy.
I think it's all just over the top.
Yeah, the home environment is good. Okay, it's good. It's a caring environment. Everyone has arguments. Okay, every family has arguments.
I accept that everyone has arguments, but people aren't usually arrested during those.
Was Ben actually injured during that incident?
Yes, Ben received a blow to the face which we understand was due to Sarah throwing a remote control which hit
I
Ben.
didn't mean to.
Yeah, no.
Our understanding, although, is that was not intentional for Sarah to throw that at Ben. However,
Yeah, it was an accident.
Obviously,
But he got caught in the crossfire.
I have met Ben. He seems like a very lovely little boy. The information from the school is that he gets on well with his peer group. They have noted that he's a little bit more subdued recently, and that he seems a bit tired. On one occasion he actually fell asleep in his classroom. Getting more into the sort of rough and tumble play, a bit more physical.
No, that is natural though, obviously, for that age.
Okay.
Let's just finish her talk, thanks.
His friends at school have maybe not quite known how to deal with his change in kind of the way that he's playing.
That's their problem then, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, there are some concerns regards to Ben not attending all of his review appointments in regards to his asthma.
Okay, when was he due then?
What, the asthma review?
Yeah.
It was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? I don't know. Was it?
I
You
don't
do
know.
that, don't you? You do all that stuff.
I've been absent-minded. I don't know. I'd have to look in the calendar.
Okay, so I spoke to Ben in the garden of his home. Mum was very available to let me do that, and this is what Ben said to me when I asked him some questions. I hate it when Mark shouts at me and Amy and Mum. It makes me feel weird inside.
You know what? We're going for hard times. I ain't even got a job, and I'm trying to get a job.
Tell me about Amy.
You know, happy, go lucky, bit sensitive.
Jess, can I ask you to give us some information about Amy, please?
She's very caring with regards to Ben, and she certainly mentioned Ben in lots of positive tones. She can come across a little bit on the scruffy side.
She's very independent. She's got good self care skills, so she can wash her hands and go to the toilet, which is really, really good. And our other concern is around a persistent cough, so it'd be great if that could be sort of looked at and appointments sort of kept, because it could be something else.
I've got a report from the GP which says that she was given antibiotics, however the script was not used, so you didn't actually collect the prescription.
No, because it cleared up.
All right, okay. But the nursery reporting that a cough's still...
I would say probably it's still there.
No, I don't think antibiotics are good for you.
Mummy is nice, but she is sad, like the sad face on the wall. Mark is mean to Mummy and me. He showed Ben how to be mean too.
You know what? Like, all it is discipline. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Okay, I've said like we're living a bit of stress. Okay, and I hear those terms like meaning that. What it is like setting boundaries. I set boundaries. I expect people to respond to those. That's all I'm doing.
She also said that you were mean to Mum, so do you set boundaries for your partner?
One thing of note was that your carbon monoxide reading was high, and that I referred you to the consultant because we'd like to keep a check on baby's growth.
I only have 1-2 a day.
You smoke in the house, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So that's going to affect your level of carbon monoxide.
We've done a couple of unannounced tests regarding the alcohol, and that they're negative, so that's really good that she's remaining abstinent for the alcohol.
Yeah.
But there is still some cannabis use, which we're trying to work on.
Sarah, how much are you using currently, Sarah, cannabis use?
You told me daily, didn't you? Two spliffs a day.
2.
He has a history of depression, but the presentation is often atypical, and it often does seem to manifest itself in anger We've been looking at relationships, we've been looking at some boundaries, so it's interesting the discussion earlier around boundaries. That's something that we've been trying to establish with Mark.
Use of cannabis, alcohol, how does that impact on mood and...
Right, well, it doesn't seem to have a significant impact on Mark, although if he has on occasions had excess of alcohol, that may impact on mood, as it would with anybody. When Mark talks about boundaries have been part of our regular conversation. So he would recognise that term as something that's helpful, perhaps.
Had you been drinking at the time of the last incident of domestic abuse between yourself and Sarah?
I'd had a drink that day, yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, I'd had a drink that day, yeah.
One drink or?
Yeah, I don't know, 1 or 2 cans, but I wasn't drunk.
How often are you drinking?
Well, most days.
I feel like I've been judged a bit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry you feel that way. Mark, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, you've got to remember, right, as I've sort of said, and as you all you guys know, is that I've had a bit of a rough upbringing. I saw DV, when I was at home as a kid, and I spent time living in care, and it's not a good place to be. It isn't a good place to be.
There are lots of positive things. There's a good relationship between yourself, Sarah, and your ex-husband, and that's prevented a potentially worse situation happening where the children had to be accommodated outside of the family. We don't want to get to that stage, and I think that a coordinated child protection plan is the way to coordinate the support, the high level of support and coordinated needs that your children need. And the category, I would say, due to the domestic violence, I would say that was under emotional harm.
I'm crystal clear that the category should be physical harm.
This could continue, potentially, and therefore I agree that the children should be placed on a child protection plan. I would probably say under the harm.
Physical harm or emotional harm?
I would probably say on both at the moment, actually.
Okay, choose one category.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I would say emotional harm.
I'm afraid I'm going to disagree with colleagues around the table. I think that the risks here could be managed without a full child protection plan, and things could be managed in a slightly less restrictive way.
I'm concerned that when you have the baby, there'll be a lot more going on for you, and there's a lot of support out there that other people we could provide and help you with. So I would say that the children should be subject to a child protection plan under the category emotional.
I think that the support that you would get by having a child protection plan would help you and safeguard your baby.
Please ask you to specify a category.
I would say under emotional harm.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Jess. Child protection under emotional harm.
Okay, so it's the majority decision of everybody here today that Ben and Amy and your unborn baby will be made subject to a child protection plan, and that will be under the category of emotional harm.
Firstly, we would want our outcomes are for the children to be protected from witnessing further domestic abuse. I'm going to make a referral for Sarah to attend a pattern changing course, and for Mark to take part in a domestic abuse assessment. Sarah has agreed to a parenting assessment.
Will Mark be part of that as well? Or?
Yeah, we discussed it with Mark. Mark was a little bit unkeen, but I think probably, would you be happy to carry on with that, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's really important that you do, Mark, because obviously we don't know what's happening with the two that are living with Dad at the moment, and that's a matter, I guess, for him to discuss with yourself outside of here. But we want you to be in a position when the new baby's born that these concerns aren't around.
What about the children's wishes? I'm really sorry, but both the children want to live with Dad.
Okay, there is a child arrangement order in respect of that. Moving on to the unborn's needs then. Obviously, Sarah, you'll continue to attend perinatal appointments and to engage with the health needs around that with midwife and with any other services, and to attend the Children's Centre antenatal smoke stop. We'd also like the nursery to make a referral in respect of Amy's to receive some speech and language therapy.
I think you've got that pretty well covered, ain't you, really? I think we've seen off a bit here, but never mind.
Thank you very much for coming, everybody, and thank you for all the work you've done so far, and good luck with your next few months and with the baby, and I'll see you again in 3 months' time.
Good luck.